we have another Halloween craft today. We're going to make little mini cheesecloth ghosts that we're going to use as an ornament. I'm making this big centerpiece, and this is going to be part of it. So all I've done is I've taken some aluminum foil, and I'm squishing it together, and you want to kind of get it as smooth as you can, but in a ball shape. And then you're going to want a wire hanger. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to create an armature for the ghost. Now I don't really like it when the ghosts are just kind of hanging there. I want it to be a little more flowy than that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of dissect our wire hanger. Okay, now once you have it cut, you want to kind of straighten out this neck part. You're going to insert this as best you can into the tin foil, because that's going to be the head. So what you want to do is bend it, and you kind of want to give it a ruffled, let me take that off for a minute, a ruffled look to it, because that's the shape that the cheesecloth is going to follow. And then bend it so it's almost like it's got feet. The cheesecloth is not going to reach anywhere near down there, but this is going to help make it stand. Let's put that back in there. And you can always hot glue that into place too, onto the hanger. And then the other one, cut it in half. And you want to give that a bend too, because that way it'll have a flowy feel to it also. Then insert that, and you can adjust this after the fact, and I think hot glue is going to be in order, but I'll do that after I get them all broken off. Alright, when you've created the armature as you think you might want it, so you think it'll look flowy and everything, the bottom will look flowy, I've gone ahead and I've cut a couple pieces of cheesecloth, and it unfolds even one further. And this is a lot bigger than what I want, so I'm probably going to trim it down even further, because I want it to be maybe like that. And remember, if you watch the I'm gonna make my insides a little thinner too. The video that I had done for the bigger ghost, it all shrinks up, and it's pretty messy, but definitely worth it. And I think I'm going to make the head a little bit bigger too. So I'm just going to take another piece of tinfoil and work it on there. And I'm going to cut this in half, my long piece in half. Now, what I learned from the last time is the cheesecloth shrinks up like crazy. I see a couple pointy spots. So I'm going to put it on here. Get it as close to the middle as I can get it. And then I'm going to take a paintbrush and my liquid starch. And all I'm going to start to do is I'm just going to start painting it on there. And I'm working on a tray so that it'll all just drip right down there. And the nice thing about this is that it's raised up off of the tray, so it will dry a whole lot faster than it did when I did the bigger ghost. And if this ends up being too long and you wanted it a little bit shorter, you can always even cut it when it's wet. And this is longer than I want it to be, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim some of the bottom pieces off. And now I'm going to put on the next layer. So put a little more starch on there. Oops. Now the thing you do want to be careful about is if it starts to, and it will, to go down and wrap itself around the wire portion of the hanger. Try to separate it. If you can't, you can always trim that part out later, but it would be better if you didn't even have to worry about that. Like if you can get in there and separate it like that, like I just did now, and then hang it and try to keep it apart. And you could always stick, like I might stick a balloon or something in here to keep it separated a little bit. And then if you trim it down a little bit, it won't have quite the weight either. Okay, and then I've got several layers on here. So when you get it, it's nice and drippy and wet. I've trimmed it and trimmed it. Let me move that out of the way. So he looks a little bit ragged on the bottom. And I'm just going to let him sit here on this tray overnight, and he'll continue to drip. And tomorrow morning, he should be dry because he should have enough airflow going through there. I still do have the balloon under here, but you could, if you didn't have a little balloon, I just happen to have that handy, you could do a water bottle or something underneath there as well, just to kind of keep it separated a little bit. And then as it gets closer to drying, you can remove that just so you get a little more airflow on there when it starts to stiffen up. So we will let that dry and check back tomorrow morning, make sure everything's good and saturated. And we should have a cute little ghost for hanging tomorrow. We're back with the ghost. It's all dried, and I did cut it a couple times as it seemed to stretch a little bit. And all we're going to do is unmold it. Kind of gently pull the wire in to loosen it, and then we'll kind of carefully loosen it from the tinfoil head. So it's going to take a little gentle moving around. There we go. Pulled right out. Here's our ghost. I have a little hot glue, and I had pre-cut out of just black felt mouth and a couple of eyes. So you just decide which part you want to be the front, and kind of place it so I know where I want it. You can do this with white glue. I'm just doing it for hot glue, with hot glue, just because it's a little bit quicker for me to be able to show you. And there is your ghost. Now I have the fishing line on my ghost, and the way I did that was I poked two very small holes into the top because I was having a hard time figuring out how I was going to do it. And I strung the fishing line down, so this is probably a little longer than I normally would like it, but I'll just hang it a little higher so it ends up where I want it to be. So I strung it down, tied it, put a dab of hot glue on the knot so it would hold, and here he is. Now, after looking at him, I thought, no, I think I would like to give him a little bit of Halloween shimmer too. And so at the very ends, I'm just going to take white glue, and as it comes off, I'm not going to make like a full bead. And then I'm going to put some white or clear glitter on there. There is your ghost. Hope you give it a try. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Happy crafting!